Well, hey everybody. Hi, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday virtual stitching retreat where you hang out with me in here and follow me on my sewing journey. And I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle. I thought I would start this morning on this side. It's a little easier for Miss Frito. I bet you she's right there. Oh, there she is right there. Yes, he hears me talking. Hi, baby girl. Okay, we gotta. Yes, right here. There you go, sweetie. Yeah, you've got mama trained, don't you? She's such a good girl. You get your two little treats. You can say hello to everybody. Hi. Hey, if you guys are watching on the replay, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. You want your stick? We got another stick. There you go. All right. What a good girl. What a good girl. She likes to hang out on that mat right there in front of my long arm. That's her spot. Great to see everybody here. I think yesterday I messed up at the end of the show and I had said that Daytona was this weekend. No, I think it's next weekend. Not that matters in the quilting world, but let me turn you guys around so we can get back. Take a look there at the top of that tall pine tree block. How about that? Yeah, that was the title of the video yesterday and I didn't even mention it. So got that done, which is good. And then also got the bottom of it done too. I'll show you guys that when I sit down here. So lots going on. I have a menu that has popped up. There we go. There we go. Y'all got snow all over in the Northeast. Well, it's February. That happens, right? And then the bottom of it, got the base done too. Let me have a couple of pins. Show you guys what I did. I feel like yesterday I didn't get a thing done. I mean, I know I did. Let me pin this up with these right here so you guys can see. All right. Yeah. So got the base done with the little snow flurry and snowballs. So that's good. And that is it is this weekend. The quilt show is next weekend. Thank you, Kim. Okay. I was feeling, I don't know. I didn't look and I trusted one of y'all and I guess I had that wrong. It is this weekend. Okay. Not that it matters in my world. Well, we're not going to be home anyway. We're going to be in Coshada. So I got a text yesterday from Michelle. She's the AccuQuilt dye lady at AccuQuilt, the cutting lady at Sew Machines Plus. She texted me yesterday. They were doing a class and they had cameras up everywhere and they had screens on the wall. And she sent me a text that said, testing, testing. And it had images of me in the classroom all over their big screens because Blaine, the CEO of Sew Machines Plus said, put a video up so we can make sure it sounds right. I was like, you guys are crazy. That's hilarious. Yeah, yesterday was one of those days where I felt like I didn't get anything done. But I know that I did. I know because I'm sitting here looking at a pile of something. I don't know why that is. Good morning, you guys. It's so good to see you guys. I love my early birds that pop in here. If you are new to the chat or you're just new to the channel, pop into the chat and let us know. We have a sunshine committee wandering around and they will inundate you with big hugs, virtual hugs. And we also have a virtual kitchen. So wander over there. There's fresh hot coffee and lots of goodies in there. Scotty Dog is usually piddling around in there, getting stuff done, right? And Bernadette says, I have a lot of those days. And there's a thumbs up button on the way into the kitchen. So hit that if you would. And then, well, Amy, you make our day. She says, I love this group. Y'all just make my day. Where is it? It just zipped right on by. So you make my day for sure. So hit that. And if you're sitting on your couch, which YouTube tells me 73% of you are watching me on the TV, grab that TV remote and hit the channel up button. I appreciate that. That gives me a thumbs up. And I appreciate the like. It's good for the old algorithm, right? So, Wendy, I love that too. I know this group just starts your day. I had so many people, like I can't count, come up to me at Road to California and tell me, even though they don't catch me first thing in the morning live, they catch me first thing in the morning while they're getting ready for work or getting ready to start their day or whatever. And they tell the family, don't bother me. I'm listening to this. This is my time. And I love you. See, here we go. Daytona starts the 19th. That's what I saw. Oh, Kathleen, thank you for your super sticker, sweetheart. You're very thoughtful. You don't need to do that. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Okay. Love that. My cat's watching a cat video on my TV. I have to look at my phone. So I did shoot a couple of little videos yesterday, and I'm going to show them to you here in a minute. I'm going to share my screen and show them to you. I started the cutting. I guess I wanted to kind of show you what I'm doing here with that Things Above quilt kit. Okay. You guys bought them out at the Fat Quarter Shop. They are all gone. All the quilt kits are gone. The pattern, they've reordered it, so you can notify when it's going to come back in. I don't know if they can get more kits. And the panel itself is, I think it's out of print. So if you can find it, snag it. But this is that Things Above quilt kit. Okay. That's what the quilt's going to look like. This, I cut up the box. No, you can't come back here, Frito. And I wanted to go ahead and get started. We got waffles and sausages in the kitchen. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Scotty Dog. So there is a downloadable pattern. Yeah. And if you can't find the fabric, you can also use your own stash, of course, right? So I got started with my easy stacks yesterday, and I wanted to kind of take you through a little bit of my process of doing that. So I numbered the churches. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I created 4 easy stacks. And these easy stacks are in my Amazon store. They're designed for paper. They're designed to organize 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. That's what they're, right? So I put a piece of batting on the bottom of it with a glue stick. And so each one of these churches now, let me show you. So I went through with the picture and just picked out, if you go through in the pattern, it tells you make all the Ohio Star blocks first. Okay. That's the first thing you need to do. So I went through and chose the fabrics that they put together because I can't choose fabrics. So I have to follow pictures. I buy kits and I follow pictures, and that's what I do. And that way I know it's going to be beautiful because somebody else got paid to do that. That's how I was in the military. That's why I went in the military. I couldn't pick my own clothes. So I didn't look good in green. I looked better in blue. So I joined the Air Force. But even when I had to buy an outfit, I would go somewhere like Dillard's and I'd see an outfit that I liked on a mannequin, and I'd buy the whole ensemble all the way down to the shoes and say, somebody got paid to do that. I'll take it. Right. Hey, it works. That's just not a gift of mine, being able to put things together like that. But that's okay, because we keep companies in business doing this for us, right? I love Dillard's too. Yeah. So I went through and picked out the colors out of the kit of all of those stars. All right. You know, y'all are on board with that. Y'all are on board with me. And then I remember when I must have been a teenager, and I said, one day I'm going to wear nothing but jeans and t-shirts. Well, I'm out of my uniforms and I'm in t-shirts and what I call house pants. That's good enough. Anyway, so I went through and picked got those fabrics done. Okay. So on each one of the easy stacks, like on this tag, it says churches 10 through 12. So these fabrics correspond to the Ohio Star blocks in the bottom row. Okay. So then here we go. So these are one of the churches in the bottom row. We went through all of these yesterday. All these fabrics. I showed them to you guys. Or day before. It was yesterday. Okay. Oh, Frito is pacing. She's driving me crazy. There's nothing else to eat. No. No. There's nothing, dog. Drive me crazy. Her little nails, now she's sulking away. Go lay down. Drive me nuts. So then I needed to get them all ironed. So there's 6 fabrics, 2 for each, 6 fabrics on all of the, y'all, I didn't just bop her. You have to touch them to change their brain. That's what you have to do. You watch Cesar Millan. Just, I don't want you going, she smacked the dog. She wants another snack. I know. She's nonstop. She's insatiable about that. Strong food drive does not begin to describe that dog. But she's been back over here pacing like 5 times, just in and out, in and out, in and out. Drive me nuts. And her little nails on the floor. Don't be mean to the dog. I'm not being mean. Oh, okay. So with 6 fabrics, I need to get them all ironed and I need to get them cut, right? And I'm just doing 3 at a time because really kind of the depth of what, here she comes again. The depth of what I want to cut is kind of puts me the limit on my, on my blade, right? So 6 fabrics at one time is the same and they're all going to be the same. Okay. So let me show you this video that I made while I was ironing my fabrics and how I did it. Now, I kind of cheat when I iron my fabrics. Okay, I'll explain it to you as I go through here. But let me, let's see. I'm going to present and share my screen. I don't know. No, it's not my downloads. Hold on. We'll just do it on, I'll do it from here. Okay. So you're not going to let me, it's not going to let me do that. Hold on a second. That's not going to work. I think I need to do it from my downloads. Okay. But I want to explain to you how wait a minute. Maybe I need, well, and then share this. Still working with that Mac, you guys. Here we go. And play. Is that right? I'm trying to figure out. There it is. Okay. So what I'm doing here, make sure you guys, can you guys, I can't, I've got a full screen. I need to exit full screen. Okay. Nope, you guys can't see that. Where's the video? There it is. Okay, there we go. So what I'm doing is I'm taking all of my fabrics and I'm laying out the larger ones because I've got some that are fat quarters and some that are fat 8s. Okay. So if you notice, I'm putting the selvage edges all to one end so that the selvages are even with each other. Now that's a fat 8th and I'm just laying them on top of one another. I only need to iron part of this, of the fabric. I don't need to iron the whole thing. There's no point in that because I'm just going to fold it back up again. Okay. So I'm taking all of the fat 8s, fat quarters on the bottom, and then I'm going to iron the fat 8, and I'm only ironing that one part of the fabric because I'm only going to cut one strip. So I just move that over to the other side. So the strip that I'm going to cut is that part that's right there in front of me. Now notice that while I've got the selvage edges even, okay, the selvage edges are even, but the edge closest to me is not even. All right. So this is how I iron my fabrics. I don't waste a whole lot of time ironing fabric that doesn't need to be ironed because it's just going to get folded up again and put back waiting into the queue, right, for me to use it again. So I'm only doing just the part that needs to be ironed. Now there's a fat quarter. Okay, I'm going to flip that up and now I'm going to do the other fat quarter. And that's it. So that's how I quickly ironed all 6 fabrics to get this done. And that's the last one. Okay. So now I just fold them all open again, drag those fat 8s back down because that's the side where I'm going to cut. Okay. Line up those selvage edges and then head over to the cutting table. Okay. So that's the way I iron. I only iron the part of the fabric because a lot of people ask me, you get so much done. How do you get so much done? A lot of it is being judicious about my time. If I don't need to iron a whole piece of fabric, I'm not going to iron a whole piece of fabric. And just that's time, right, in the day. So that's how I'm doing that. All right. So let me show you now. I'm not going to talk because I'm talking in this video. It's 7 minutes, but I was asked yesterday for a lesson on how to do the cutting. Okay. How I do my cutting. So I did talk you through how I do my cutting. Okay. Thank you. This is Bernadette. This is from Allie M. Tees. I've got a link below in the description box in the section around my sewing room. So very fun, very fun. All right, let me share my screen again. And I need to, hold on. I need to open up that video and get that ready to go. All right. Where are you guys? You're right here. Okay. Let me get down there. It jumped up and said Apple TV, and that's weird. I can't find it, y'all. I don't think that's right. Hold on a second. I know the browser blocked my screen, but I wanted to show you that. Let me see. I think I have too many windows open at any given moment, and I need to close them because I've got so much going on, y'all. It's terrible. Let's see. Get all of this stuff. Oh, it is Apple TV. That is so weird the way that does that. Apple TV is now what you're using to display videos, I guess. So, okay, whatever. Let me see here. All right, so it's showing Apple TV. So that's what I'm going to share with y'all. Share screen, go to my window. Is that it? No, here it is, right here. Okay. Cut a 3.5-inch strip off of all of these fabrics I just pressed. And I want to get the edges, the outside edge out here, fairly even on all 6 of these pieces. And I want this edge down here even as well. The selvages are straight. The other edges may or may not be straight. I can tell that these are not straight. You just never know how they were cut. So I'm going to line up the selvage edge with a line like usually the 1-inch line on a mat. Okay, and I can see here that this edge is not straight over on this side. So I'm going to use the 3.5-inch mark here on my Quilter Select ruler. And I'm gonna put it just so that the edge of a line on the ruler is straight with a line on the mat down here. And I've got an extra 1/4 inch. So it's really coming out to 3 3/4 over here on this side. That's where it starts down here. Up here, it's closer almost to 4 because this edge is not straight. But I want to make sure to at the most narrow spot to get the 3.5. So that's because I'm going to trim this other piece off. So I'll put my hand here and start outside of the fabric. You don't want to start it up here. And I'm just going to push and go straight. That leaves a little bit to be desired. It wasn't as sharp as I would have liked through there, but I'm just going to move my hand up and keep pushing and push. Now I know I could feel it didn't get all the way through. So without moving anything, I'm going to put my hand here and do it again. Just make a second run. That was straight. And now I can pull it right here and pull, and I see that I have a clean cut. So I'm just going to set these aside for now. I started with a brand new blade many cuts ago. So it's okay. Nothing wrong with doing it twice. Now I want to exactly be on the 3.5-inch line, and I'm going to clean up this edge right here. And that worked just fine. Okay. So I'm going to use that same concept here. Again, the selvage edge, okay? I'm going to line it up straight on the mat. And I'm going to have selvage plus about, I don't know, 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit more, 3/8 inch. And I'm going to line up my ruler with a line on the mat and cut off my selvages. So I know I have a clean edge on this side where I'm going to cut. And now I need 2 3.5-inch squares. There's 1. And 2. Okay. And then I need a 2.5-inch square. So I'm going to cut a 2.5 by 3.5-inch rectangle. I know both of these edges are straight. So I'm just going to turn it. And this is where I'm going to cut right on the 2.5-inch mark. I don't have to cut it a little big and then trim it down. So the only waste that I have is this little bit right here for the scrap basket. Okay, so there I've cut 3 of these blocks. These are the Ohio Star blocks that I'm cutting. And I've already done the background fabrics for these. So it's real simple. These are churches 4 through 6. I numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 4 through 6. So I can see here in the picture, this is just really a simple and easy way to get these sorted out. Let's see, this one is part of church number 2. This is how I use my easy stacks. You can get these in my Amazon store. These go together. And then this gold, let's see, and this brown is part of this one right here. And then the gold and the blue go together. Okay. So there's one set of those. Oh, here they are. I'm like, where'd the other ones go? I know I cut two. They were hiding. Okay. So there's the 3.5-inch squares that are going to make the Ohio stars. These are the center of the Ohio star. So this one goes here, 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 and the gold, and the brown, and the blue. And these make up the other half of those Ohio star blocks. Whoops. So I'm going to put 4 and 4 more. That's 5. And 4 more. Okay. And then these also make up the corners on the Ohio stars. So that's how easy it was to cut all of the Ohio star blocks for these 3 blocks right here. One more to go. Let's see. Churches 1 through 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9. I've got them labeled down here. What's what? I've got to figure this out. Whoop. Okay. Okay. So that's my method to cut a whole lot of stuff all at one time. Whenever you've got blocks that use the same fabrics for the same cuts, try to do multiples if possible. So you can see that took me 7 minutes to cut. That's a 7-minute video. And I was talking my way through it. So it's even less time when you're not yapping. So 7 minutes to cut these. So I was able to, 1, 2, 3, 4, get them all, not all of them. I didn't do the last row. I've got to do that. But this is what, this is that end result. Okay. Pretty easy to do. Now, if you guys have recently downloaded the pattern or you get the pattern, I also want to make a note, y'all. I do want to talk to you. This is the title of today's video. Does the scan and cut multiple later? I wouldn't do it, Sharon. I wouldn't do it. So when you get the pattern, I know, like I said, you guys bought this kit out, and I know a lot of you just bought the pattern. I saw all the sales yesterday. Thank you so much for using my links. That helps me more than you know. I really, really appreciate it. So the pattern calls for you to cut those Ohio star block, the ones I was just doing. If you noticed, when I did the cutting, I said I was cutting 3.5. The pattern tells you to cut 3.25. They tell you always to read the pattern through before you start. And if you're a seasoned quilter, you kind of get an idea. It's not so much like a roadmap to know where you're going when you travel somewhere, right? But it's to give you, when you've been quilting a minute, you realize sometimes there is a different way to create the same block. And the method they choose in here is for you to take one of these each and cut them in half diagonally. The moment you do that, and then cut those, so cut these both in half diagonally, right? So the moment you do that, now you're playing with 2 pieces on the bias. What happens with bias? Stretch, right? I don't like stretch in my quilts. I try to avoid stretch at all costs in my quilts. That's why I don't use steam. I don't want to manipulate the fabric at all with steam. And I don't want, Bernadette is right, warp. You get warp. These already look like they're warping. Okay. So then you're supposed to sew these together to get a half square triangle. And you're supposed to then put it together with another set of these, opposite direction, and get another half square triangle, and or put them all together, and your end result is a quarter square triangle. Is that right? Yeah, quarter square triangle. And the goal of what you're after is, I did these yesterday. I got into my scrap basket to do a test and make sure I wasn't telling y'all wrong. So this is the end result. This is out of my scrap basket. You might recognize that from my bag I just made for my buy any bag for my computer. And then this is out of Farmstead. So this is what you're after. You need all four of those points to come together exactly in the middle, which is perfect. What's going on here? Let me stop sharing that. Okay. But I was able to do this without any stitching on the bias. Okay. And another thing that I don't like that method, because you're starting out your stitch on a triangle point, and a fairly small triangle point, right? I know I'm very happy with my square too. So you're starting out your stitch on a triangle point. If you're not using a straight stitch machine like I am with a single hole needle plate, you've got that needle plate that's got enough room for the needle to do a zigzag or whatever you want, right? What's going to happen is it's going to pull that tip down in, and all of your tips are going to get mushed, and you might get knots, or you got to hold the threads in the back to help pull them through. There's a way around that. And so that's what I wanted to show you today, okay, is to avoid all of that drama, because we don't like drama on this channel at all, especially drama with fabric. So instead of cutting your original square to 3 1/4, that was my first clue right there when it said cut to 3 1/4. And I was like, what? I don't like that. It's either 3 1/2 or not at all, as far as I'm concerned. So what I did was I went ahead and cut that extra 1/4 inch and cut a 3 1/2 inch square instead of a 3 1/4 inch square. So those of you that are making this quilt, or you ever come across where you need to make quarter square triangles, you need to go ahead and try this method that I'm fixing to show y'all. Right. All right. So, and we're going to do it on my real blocks and live on the edge. Okay. That's what I'm going to do, is live on the edge. So remember, I had 2 each. Okay. Of these. Let me see here. Let me put these back where they go. I've got fabric everywhere, y'all. 1, 2, 3. I've got too many. All right. So let me get all of this out of the way. So I still need to cut the last row of churches. I'll get that done this morning. Hourglass blocks. That's what we're doing. That's right. Okay. So you're going to need the 1/4 inch seam guide, like I have used in the past when a quilt block instruction tells you to draw a line down the center of a block diagonally and sew a 1/4 inch away on either side of the line. I don't find that to be very accurate. I prefer to use this ruler and draw my sew line down each side. Okay. If you don't have one of these, you can draw a line in the center, and then you can just draw 2 more lines a 1/4 inch away on either side of that. This just makes it easier for you to do that. So also the method I'm about to show you, okay, is this is all of the waste that I had after the method I'm about to show you to get my blocks. Okay. That's all I had. So let me get these out of the way. So what I'm after are these. This was my scrap again. So let me show you. Okay. I'm going to use these two, and we're going to get 4 quarter square triangles out of these. Okay. So these are my 2, and you also need a 2.5-inch square up ruler. You need this regardless of which method you use, but I encourage you guys to save yourself a lot of grief. Okay. And use this method. Cut your squares 1/4 inch larger. So I'm going to use this here. Turn on my light. Oh, where's it at? There we go. Get some light on the subject here. And get some glasses. I can see what I'm doing. All right. Now, I've done this method before in other quilts where they give you the instructions to do it this way. I don't know why the pattern designer has it going this direction. Y'all, I looked for pattern corrections. I could not find any. I did go out on the designer's website and look for those. I looked all over everywhere I could. I didn't find any. So I'm going to assume there's no pattern corrections going on this thing. I could be wrong, but I didn't find any. So everything so far looks okay. All right. So again, if you don't have one of these rulers, just draw a line down the center. Okay. And then draw another 2 lines 1/4 inch away from that. That is a much more accurate method to get this same effect rather than trying to run your foot 1/4 inch away down. I got too much going on right here. Way too much going on. Way too much. Let me see if I can get this working here. There we go. And we'll come in a little bit. That right? Okay. Let's see if we can do this here. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these right sides together and on your background fabric. It doesn't matter. Right, wrong, doesn't matter. Okay. And so I'm stitching right on the line. I know in other blocks I've told you you can stitch just to the inside, but I'm decided this one it doesn't matter because these are already oversized from what I need. This is just such a much more accurate, pretty method. You don't get all that. I mean, you never have to take anything apart, it seems. All right. I'm going to do the other side. I forgot to heat up my iron. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut these apart. Because stitched on the bias, all right, was stitched on the diagonal, I don't use this. All right, that again is going to warp your fabric. You don't need that. I don't like to do that at all. Okay. I use this all the time if I'm making a garment, because garments are meant to go around the body. Okay. Oh, neat, Pam. You down on South Padre walking on the beach? How nice. Is the sunrise pretty? We don't have one here. It's crappy here with rain. All right. So I'm just going to put these out. I love seeing your pictures on Facebook, Pam, down there, South Padre. We used to go to Dirty Al's Bait and Seafood back when it was just an ice house right on the docks, his original one. Now he's got like 13 restaurants. It's crazy. Okay. So I'm making 4 half square triangles. Okay. And there's the last one. All right. So now what I'm going to do is on the back of 2 of these, okay, I'm going to use that little ruler again, and I'm going to mark on the diagonal the opposite direction of the sewn line. So the sewn line is this way. So now I'm going to mark the diagonal this way. Okay. Oops. All right. So this is what you've got, like that. And you're going to do that to 2 of them. Put that corner to corner. Try to get that accurate. It's hard to see that cream colored fabric against the white base of my sewing machine. I know you guys that have been around the block know exactly what I'm doing here. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take this that I've got the marks on, and I'm going to put the colors opposite like this. Okay. And I'm just going to nest up those seams nice and close together, nice and tight, and match everything up so that I've got background fabric pressed up against, above, or below, as the case may be. I'm going to nest these nice and tightly. Okay. I can feel that those edges are right next to each other. And if you want to pin, it can be helpful to do that. Get this just right. Man, the problem with using wool is your seam gets so flat. It's hard to tell. And then I will pin in the middle, in one side of the seam allowance and out the other. Just to hold it. Okay. So we've got background color. And then on this side, we've got background on the top and color on the bottom. Okay. And then the same thing here. Match them up in the middle. Get them together nice and tightly. No gaps. Don't need that. Make sure that's right. And I'm going to pin in the middle, in one side of the seam allowance and out the other to anchor those points together. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to sew on these lines again. I got this one wonky. I think it's fairly forgiving though. I think we'll be okay. I'm going to sew on the line. And then the other way. Okay. Pull my pins out here. Okay, so now I'm going to cut these apart in between the little line. Okay. And what you're going to end up with is 4 of your quarter square triangles. So you get all 4 of them done at one go. Okay. And here you are. Let me press this. There it is right there. Okay. So much more accurate than the method that is described, that they tell you to do in the pattern. It's also faster. Okay. So I'm going to press these out and get them ready to be trimmed down to the side. Okay. This is just such a much better method. Anytime you see a designer or a pattern that tells you, hey, cut it on the bias and sew it back together, you need to go, wait, what? I don't think that's a good idea. And you need that extra 1/4 inch that I told you all about, that there's a reason, you've got to be able to trim it down. Okay. So all 4 of these came out absolutely perfect. They're just perfect. There's no gap. Everything fits. You're welcome, Vicki. Yeah. Yeah. I know a lot of you're just like, well, I'll just blindly follow the pattern. And then you're going to struggle with these blocks and you're going to be like, why? Why is this so hard? And I've got 24 of them. No, more than that. How many? See, we have 12 churches, and then I got to make, each one has 4 blocks, 4 Ohio Star blocks. So there's 48 of these bad boys I have to make. All right. So now I'm going to take my mat with my rotary cutter, and you'll want a square up ruler that's got an X in the middle of it. This one's hard to see. Let me make it so you guys can see it a little bit better. It doesn't matter who makes your ruler, okay? But you need something, see the X going through there? Okay. You're welcome, you guys. Okay. So I'm just going to put this and make sure my X lines up with my seams on my block. Now let me get you in here so you can see how much larger the block is than the 2.5 inch square. See that? So I've got some extra, and that's what I'm after. I want to make sure I've got extra all the way around, because you sewed on the bias, okay? Then you need that little extra to make sure it all lines up properly. And you want to make sure that those little lines that are in the corners are exactly on the seams. Otherwise, you're going to get a blunt tip, and you don't want that. So I just hold the ruler in place, keep my fingers well out of the way. I like to start kind of on it and roll backwards. Otherwise, the fabric can shove up underneath the edge of the ruler. Okay. And here's my perfect 2.5 inch square, 1/4 square triangle. Okay. That's exactly what you're after right there. So now I know for a fact it's going to fit with my 2.5 inch square for the center. Yay! That's what I'm after. Okay. So once you get good at this, you'll just be whipping right through these, and your productivity is going to skyrocket, and you're going to feel like super quilter. And look at just the tiny bit of waste that I have here. You can use other methods to square these up, or other rulers. Just use whatever's easiest for you. Okay. There's 2. And 3 here. Oh, don't be moving. Oh, it's upside down. That's my problem. There are all different kinds of these square up rulers, you guys. Use whatever works best for you. There are some where you can square them up while they're still folded before you press them open. You can get those. Okay. Whatever works. Here, I don't have hardly any at all left over. I don't know why. But if I was to have cut it at 3 1/4, like the pattern said, I would not have any excess to trim, which means the block would probably be a little short using this method. Because see that, I barely have any right there on that one side. And it turned out just fine. And my last one. Get this done right here. So this takes, you know, learn from my experience. I have struggled with the quarter square triangles in the method that is described in the pattern. And, you know, you might look for the title of this video when you get, those of you that are making it, when you get your kit, or if you come across in a pattern the need to make a quarter square triangle, just cut it 1/4 of an inch larger than the pattern calls for. And then use this 2 at a time method. There we go. Okay. So all 4 of them are made now. I've got them all done. Yay. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? They turned out so pretty. Accuracy, accuracy, love, love. Okay. Another Mary Poppins success. Free Spirit says yes. I've done that method that they have in the pattern, and it's not fun. Not fun at all. So for all 4 of them, look, I just have that little bit of waste. Not a big deal. Okay. All right. So there's your lesson for today. Let me see. Where's my coffee? Where's my coffee? What do I have on my ruler that keeps it from slipping? CG, I don't have. Yeah, I did put some on here. It's called Grippy, Grippy by Otif. I have that. I got it on Amazon. It's in my Amazon store. And it puts a coating on it so that it feels like the back of one of the Quilter Select rulers is exactly what it is. I take it outside and hold it upside down on a piece of like cardboard, and then hold it up here and just do a light dusting spray of it. And once it dries, it turns a little bit opaque, not bad, but it keeps it from moving around on your fabric, which is really nice. So I saw that yesterday and I was like, I got to show you guys this because I know some of you are new quilters and I don't want you to struggle. But your problem is the ruler rocking on the seam. What ruler cuts before pressing? So Lynn, you might try a Tucker trimmer. Okay. Let me see. Do I have one here? I don't have one in here anymore. Oh yeah, I do. Here we go. Let's see. Let me see. Is this it? This is a Tucker trimmer works. So does the Clearly Perfect slotted trimmer. So this is it here. Clearly Perfect slotted trimmer. All right. Yeah, if you don't like it rocking on that seam when you're trying to trim, let me get this. Okay. This is it here. They come in a set of 2 for the 2.5 on the 1/2 inch squares and straight inch squares. So this one, see where it says 2.5 right there? Okay. And then over here, this one says 2. I broke this one. It's got a floppy acrylic. So how that works, and I'll show you. So let's say we're just going to make a regular 1/2 square triangle. I've got it ironed open already, but how this works, I can do it on the show you how this works on the 1/4 square too. So, but how it works, let me point you down. I got my cutting mat. Clearly Perfect slotted trimmer probably is the most economical. There are all kinds of trimmers, y'all. This is the wrong one. There are all kinds, but you get 2 in a package. And so that's probably the most economical. So, all right. So if you want to do it on a fold, okay, then what you do is you line up the dotted line. That's your stitched line. See how it has, see the dots, the dashed line? That's your stitch line. Okay. Sue, you're welcome. She says she's avoided patterns with half square triangles. So whether you're doing where you have them both sewn together or just the one like this, okay, then you're going to put the dashed line right on the seam line. All right. So in the gray stripe, that's your seam allowance. And then you can take your rotary cutter, okay, and just do like this. Now, there's a lot of waste on this one because I cut them at 3.5, right? There. And then on this one, it has the slots where you can go in and even cut off your little dog ears, right like this. So if you don't like the wobble, I guess I didn't get down deep enough. I would have to use it. I need the 45. The 28 doesn't work. So there's your perfect 2.5-inch square. Okay. And that's what you're after. And then you would press it open. Let me get that pressed now. So there's your perfect 2.5-inch square. So you can do it whether you're on a half square triangle or your quarter square triangle. It's going to work the same. Now, when you're making the quarter square triangle, you don't cut it until you've got all 4 of these sewn together, like I showed y'all how to do. Yeah. So just get all 4 of them sewn together using that two lines. Get this one made and then put these together like this and do 2 more lines and then cut them apart and then use this. Okay. And that'll give, and then when you cut it, it's going to look like this when you cut it. Okay. These are very, very handy for those. I know because the wobble is kind of a pain. I mean, you're cutting on 4 seams, right? When I'm not filming, do I stand or sit while I cut? I stand. I prefer to stand. I just get more leverage when I'm standing. You can do it sitting for sure, but it's better to. So on the quarter square triangle, okay, you've got these sewn together. Now you just it's the same thing. You just put it right where it needs to go on the fold. It's so easy and there's no wobble, okay? And you just trim and it works out great. So clearly slotted, perfect trimmer is what this is. I'll put them in my Amazon store for sure, but this is it right there. Clearly slotted, perfect trimmer. And you get 2 of them at a time. Marina, there it is right there. Okay. This is what you are after. So I will, if y'all are going to get one of those, let me put it in my Amazon shop first. I'll also put them, if they've got them at Fat Quarter Shop or around anywhere else that I'm an affiliate for, I'll go ahead and put that on there. I didn't even think about that. I should have done that, but I'll do it right after we get off here. So, well, guys, our hour is up. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope you got a lot out of this. This method will save you so much time and grief and effort. And all it took was an extra 1/4 inch on the cut, which was like nothing. That's nothing when it comes to doing your cut. So we went over how I iron only the piece of the fabric that I'm going to use, and then how to make quarter square triangles. Yeah, it was a fast hour, wasn't it? So where can you get the online pattern? Patty, I have a link to the pattern below. They're on back order at the Fat Quarter Shop, but they're all over Etsy. Okay. And I've got links to that below. So y'all, this has been fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I got a little bit of work done too. So I'm going to keep going here. I love you guys. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe so we can spend more time together. And tomorrow is Embroidery Thursday. We're going to make the Designs by Juju Happy Easter mug rug. I got a special treat for you guys next Thursday. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait. But and tomorrow I'm going to work on the multi-needle. So that'll be a lot of fun too. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Go sew something. Bye.